So we have an article here straight out of Zero Hedge. It says, oven-like conditions result in over 1,000 deaths during Hajj in Saudi Arabia. So they had explained earlier that the Hajj is the final of the 5 pillars of Islam and requires that every Muslim who is of adult age complete the religious pilgrimage to Mecca once in their lifetime, so long as they are financially and physically able. This means huge numbers descend on the city of Mecca, which is home to the shrine of the Kaaba in Saudi Arabia each year. More than 1.8 million people attended Hajj last year in 2023, approaching the pre-pandemic levels. According to Saudi officials, they expect the figure to exceed the 2 million mark this year, 2024. Not only are the massive crowds a problem, but this year the Saudi city is under an excessive heat warning, with highs at times having reached between 110 and 115 degrees Fahrenheit during the day and 100 degrees Fahrenheit even during the evening. This has resulted in what could be a record amount of heat injuries and deaths by the pilgrimage's season's end. On Monday, the Saudi Weather Service recorded a temperature of 125 degrees Fahrenheit at Mecca's Grand Mosque. The AFP reported Thursday that deaths from heat-related causes had surpassed 1,000 people amid the extreme conditions. The new deaths reported Thursday include 58 from Egypt, according to an Arab diplomat who provided a breakdown showing that of 650 Egyptians who had passed away, 630 were unregistered pilgrims. AFP writes, Indonesia also reported a high number of heat-related casualties. In total, 10 countries have reported 1,081 deaths so far during this annual pilgrimage season, timing of which is determined by the lunar Islamic calendar. Last year, there was a total of 313 deaths reported. While authorities are estimating that over 2 million people are present for the religious rites, this includes possibly a couple 100,000 of unauthorized pilgrims who may not have access to the established amenities, including cooling or water stations, that registered pilgrims have. This group was more vulnerable to the heat because, without official permits, they could not access air-conditioned spaces provided by Saudi authorities for the 1.8 million authorized pilgrims to cool down after hours of walking and praying outside. Last Sunday alone saw over 2,700 cases of heat exhaustion, the Saudi Foreign Ministry had earlier announced. Between heat exhaustion and heat stroke, the latter is the most serious and includes a person's temperature rising rapidly as the body can no longer regulate it, and the ability to sweat fails, resulting in an inability to cool down. Dizziness, vomiting, fainting, and mental confusion are signs of potential heat exhaustion leading to heat stroke. End of article. So, in summary, the year-on-year arrivals is increasing and will surpass pre-pandemic levels. The amount of pilgrims with permits increases every year, but there's still unregistered pilgrims who don't have access to some of the amenities if you do get a permit. So this is sort of fringe pilgrimage. In addition to that, that last year there was a recording of 313 deaths, and this year they're reporting 1,081. And with that being said, they finally add one final point, which is, of course, that the Hajj season each year usually happens between Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, and it shifts up about 12 days each calendar year, according to the lunar calendar. So in years past, it was in June, July, and then in recent years, it was May, April, and then I think next year it's going to be sort of March, April for Eid al-Fitr and Ramadan, of course. So, interesting article, and it's unfortunate to hear this news, but it's informative and it enlightens on not only the temperatures and the cycles of the weather, but also that there are amenities provided, but if people are willing to take the risk of being an unregistered migrant, they are not going to receive access to the amenities that a registered pilgrim will have during the Hajj events.